Hey guys, Tim and Dawna, Avery here.
Hey
We've been diving deep into this message, anchoring our faith in 5784.
Grab my book today on Amazon. It's called Visual Testaments. This is a practical way to show inner healing and deliverance, and you are actually able to see how God secured my faith through this book. 13 chapters of showing you how God redeems and anchors faith. So make sure you grab it on Amazon today.
And so the next step we're going to be covering
is talking about shutting off our senses.
Yes. And that sounds a little strange, doesn't it, to set off your senses?
Does.
But we're talking about in a spiritual sense.
Yeah.
Because we want to make sure that the things that we are going to talk about, or the things that we are going to be doing in this next season in our life, especially with all the shaking, remember?
Yes.
There's several, prophetic voices that are saying that there's going to be a prophetic shaking that's coming up.
Yeah.
And so be able to shut off our senses. We're talking about, like, don't rely on your senses.
Your physical senses.
Yes. So you want to talk more about that?
Yeah. So don't rely on your physical senses.
Yes.
As we're coming into this year, really being able to focus on our spiritual senses.
Yes.
Ask Holy Spirit again to take you deeper in trusting what is sight in the spirit realm,
yes,
not sight in the physical. Because around you, it could look like all hell is breaking loose in the physical realm. We see earthquakes, tornadoes, we see all kinds of things happening in the physical with our family members and stuff. But when we lean in the Holy Spirit and ask Him to give us sight for the spirit realm, we can see this as a spiritual battle.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's important to realize that, like you're saying, like leaning on our spiritual senses, because it's where the Holy Spirit is trying to communicate to us. Not relying on our sight in the physical, but relying on our senses, like in our discernment, in our spiritual sight and our discernment, knowing that although it seems dire around us, although it seems like people are getting sick in droves, like we don't need to fear. Like our senses don't need to rely on that to where it should cause our emotions to stir up to where we're being fearful. We should be just relying on our discernment, knowing that, okay, we all know that God has done things in the past like this, and so we need to realize that God is doing something amazing in through our life. He's going to guard and protect His chosen. He's going to guard and protect His elect, those remnant, His people who trust on His word. Just like when the plague of death came on Passover, those Hebrews, they relied on what God said to do, which was to paint the door frame in blood. And although people around them were dying, they knew that they were protected. So they're relying on their discernment, or they're relying on their spiritual senses to know that although God's doing this around me, I know that I'm being guarded and protected. Yeah, and as we lean into this, knowing that we're focusing in on,
the spirit realm, because we are three parts. We are body, soul, and spirit. And so what's going to go with us into the heavenly kingdom? We're bringing the kingdom to earth right now when we understand that we are spirit beings. We are not just physical beings. Physical is going to pass away, but we are spirit beings. And when we understand that we live by faith, that looks like being able to walk in the spirit realm fully. Fully being not in the world. We are not of the world. We are of another kingdom. And so when we're bringing that kingdom to earth, we're walking by faith in the spirit realm. We are seeing in the spirit realm, hearing in the spirit realm, tasting. All of our senses, feeling, all of our senses are keen as we practice this. Look, if you're not great at it, that's okay. You get a chance to practice. Start now, every day, asking Holy Spirit to help you work. Exercise those spiritual senses to really be able to taste and see that the Lord is good. I've heard people say that I can smell certain things in heaven. People that have had near-death experiences say, I remember what that looked like in heaven. And I had spiritual sight to see when I came back to the earth. I could taste the fruit differently.
Yeah.
There's different
spiritual ears being open.
Yes, there's spiritual senses that you have.
Yeah.
You just haven't been using them as much.
Haven't been exercising them, yeah.
Until now.
And this is going to be, and I just feel this right now, like that's a prophetic thing. Like this is a season of like exercising those spiritual gifts.
Yes.
You know, so exercising our sight, exercising our hearing, as we draw closer to the Lord draw closer to us. You know, as we reveal things, our mind and our spirit will be strengthened once we exercise these gifts. That we'll be able to walk more closely with the Lord, and He'll be able to guide us like GPS. Like we rely on our GPS to get us from one point to another point. Like we're gonna rely on the Lord with our spiritual senses to be able to guide us from point to point or season to season.
Yes.
Without having that. So I think we need to develop those spiritual senses, like developing like spiritual muscles.
Correct.
Working them out and exercising them, and this is a season to do that. So we were just encouraging you, like embrace this season right now of like, I don't want to say killing your senses, like your natural senses, but just shutting them down.
Turn them off.
Shutting off your natural senses and
trust that process.
Trust the process of exercising your spiritual senses.
Yeah, yeah. So as we close this one out, just ask the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, I trust you.
Yes.
Shut my physical senses up. I want to. Some of you already got that jump start with COVID.
Yeah.
In 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
You got that jump
means.
start.
Yeah.
You can't taste. You can't smell.
Yeah.
Your physical senses there are gone. So that's great. You're already halfway there.
Yeah.
So just say, Holy Spirit, I want to taste in the spirit realm.
Yeah.
I want to smell in the spirit realm. All the senses, I want them keener in the spirit realm, and I want to start that with you today. You guys have been fabulous. We look forward to sharing more steps with you. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.
Bye for now, guys.